right, what's going on, my boy? Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, real quick, I just want to point out a few things just in general about price action and how for intraday strategy. It's simply using the day chart. I have my stochastic oscillator down here. Let me go ahead and show you my properties. I have the K period on 21, swelling on 8, the other D period on 5, price field low to high, MA method simple. Okay, and that's what we see down here in the lower window here, the stochastic. Then as far as up on the top side, all I have is the 21 simple moving average and my daily chart. Okay, just a simple frame of reference. When you're below the 21 moving average, of course, you're looking for bearish or declining candles. Okay, you're expecting candles to close lower than they open when price is below the 21 moving average. Now over here, when price is above the 21 moving average, you're looking for long or increasing candles to close above where they open. Okay, just keep that in mind always, any time frame, no matter what time frame you're on. You're looking for below the 21 average. You're looking for new lows to be seeked. When you're above the 21 moving average, you're looking for new highs to be seen. Okay, the stochastic does help down here. Now, when you see a cross on the stochastic, such as right here, and right here, these are just three crosses I'm just pointing out simply real quick. You can see that price also changes directions here. As far as price. So that's how price matches up with the stochastic. You guys see that? Cross, cross, cross. Change, change. Okay, those are also swing positions. Of course, we know that. Okay, it's not the ultimate swing from here to here, but it is a swing from here to here. Okay, it's a lower time frame swing, but nonetheless, it is a swing. Both of these are swing. Well, actually, this swing actually is like this. Okay. Now, if you look here, that all that is another way to look at the levels. Okay. Simple. Okay. Simple way to see the levels. It's one trend, one downwards trend here, three levels. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Does that make sense? We have one swing here on the daily chart, one daily swing, three levels seen. Okay, good deal. All right. Now, as you see right here, look at the stochastic as well. Now you see some divergence forming. There's divergence forming here on the stochastic now, which hence turned us into upwards a bullish cycle. Now let me erase that. Take us back to here. Now, with as far as the Fibonacci goes, of course, always with the swing, you can pull out your Fibonacci. I go from the close. I don't go from the wicks, as always. So if we look over here to the right now, we see we're breaking through TP3. Okay, remember, on this side, over here, would have simply been buys on the other side of the moving average. Remember, we're above the 21 moving average, so we would be looking for buys, which would have been simple here, expert entry, here, conservative entry, and you could have either tacked on multiple more entries here as we continue to break up through these levels, or you could have simply been taking profit by now. If you got in down here and you're taking profit up here, that's a pretty penny depending on your lot size. Of course, this is about 2-3 weeks worth of data. Okay. Now, as far as down here in the stochastic goes, although we are up here above in the overbought position, we still need to wait for price action to make that reversal before we consider that, because price can tend in an aggressive market to straddle and continue to rise, although it is overbought or oversold. For example, we'll need to begin to see divergence. And by divergence, I mean we'll begin to see the stochastic decline while the highs continue to rise. All right, now if I go back and pull out the fibs from here, my target will take us up in this area up here. All right, this is just a penny lot I just threw on here just for this walkthrough. But if I was to take this setup based on my Fibonacci and my analysis, I'm looking for quite a run here. All right. Also, based on this monthly chart, we look at price action, and this is a bullish candle. There's nothing over here to the left that would end this bullish run other than this area here, or these areas up here, which are why that's my TP areas. But if you look over here at this monthly candle here, all this area up here has been yet to be filled by this gap. All right. So definitely expect us to be seeking up through that level. And if you look at price, this particular TRX currency is only 2 cents right now. So although this looks like a giant leap, this is only a leap of 7 cents. So think of a leap of $100. It's gonna be huge. It is going to be huge. Okay. Now back to just looking at simple price action. Based on the stochastic, based on just looking at the moving average here, 21 simple moving average, apply to close. And we know that above the 21 moving average, we're looking bullish. So we're seeking bullish and new highs. Based on price action right here, on this daily candle, we know we could have expected a bullish move. After this candle, we know we can expect another bullish move. After this candle, another bullish move, pull back here. I'll show you why. We likely pull back to a 4-hour order block. If you look here at the 4-hour chart, that's exactly what we did. Okay? And what I mean by that 4-hour order block is the fact that the order block here for the 4-hour chart was right here. 4-hour chart popped down, filled that order block, and now we're beginning back up. Now, based on price action, of course, this candle should continue that way and revisit the highs of this candle here. All right. Now, if we come in here to the 4-hour chart and look at that, this is the area that we are seeking. Again, 4-hour chart is above the 21 moving average, so we already know we're looking to buy here anyway. Now, when you're above or below the moving average, depending on which direction you're moving, The reversal will not come until you have price action up a good distance from that moving average. Okay? So if the moving average is here, you'll need price to be like right here with a reversal pattern and then begin to fall back down here. Sorry, let me make that a little better. The moving average is here. You would need price to begin reversing up over here and fall down to here. Okay? That makes sense? For example, if the moving average is here and price is here, price is likely not to do this, but instead do that. Okay? It needs room to gas up and reverse and break down through that moving average. That makes sense? Okay. Let's look at this 1 minute chart here and watch this action. If you look at price, look at that trend bouncing on the trend line. Look at the stochastic. Here we had the divergence, which began the reversal. Here we had the bounce. Based on price action, we know that this area should be a bounce. We know the 50 is a retrace, so this is what we should see here on the stochastic. Just for educational purposes, just dropping this opinion here. Notice how it's 7:13, 15-minute candle for entry. Based on the fact that I really think that this is going to turn around, I'll go ahead and enter at 7:15. Remember, 15-minute candle for entry, all candles above for your analysis. Sometimes it will happen right before that 15-minute candle, but I stay true to entering at that 15-minute mark. So technically, I still got a minute, and give or take whatever, give or take your particular clock might be off a minute or two. But you see, as it's rising from that exact point, that's how I'm able to pinpoint and take sniper entries. Every time frame is going to show you the same different patterns. You just gotta time it all in what's the word I'm looking for? All together in confluence in sequence. So whenever I analyze, say for instance, a low, a swing low on the 4 hour chart, I know that 4 hour chart's at its low. Now I'm waiting and watching for price action form down here on the 5 minute and the 1 minute below. 7:15, and I'm in. Took that 7:15 entry. me. Let's watch the magic. I'll be right back. Don't have any cigars. Shoot. So with that being said, I will be right back. Gotta make a store run. I'm gonna leave the live running so we can watch this trade play out, but I'll be right back. Hey Robert, I'm gonna leave the live running. Like I said, I'm gonna run to the store real quick, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna have some music playing over in the back. I need my homeboy home ASAP.
Nipsey, this Keith Street's life. I'm gonna be, a and a half.
And you gonna guarantee coming home?
You know me for a long time. I've ever let you down.
All right.
to motivate. Choppers to throw away. Hustle the overweight. That's why they follow me, huh? They think I know the way. Start to control the thing. Born in the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Slossin' that soldier race. Niggas don't know them days. Take you in back of the buildings. Make you expose your rage. Take you across the tracks. Make you expose the face. Now you official now. But you got a soul to say. I just been cooking that note. I'm about to drop in a few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth. I ain't really trip on the credit. I just paid all of my dues. I just respected the game. Now my name all in the news. Tripping on all of my moves. Quote me on this, got a lot more to prove. Remember I came in this bitch, fresh out the county, nothing to lose. Back in this bitch like I never left. Stepping some shit that you never read. Passing through stages in life, through the ups and the downs like it's all just another test. Live by the phone like a fucking rap. I got respect in 100 sets. Too many J's need another chest. Brand no games, the Western chest. Come from that cloth that you couldn't stretch. Come from that circle you couldn't test. Heavily pressured and under stress, even though niggas ain't show up for what's a mess. Honest and pimp lane to the left. Judge a young nigga by their dress. That's just no action, what they expect. Only thing we knew for sure is the baby set. Fuck living basic, I'm taking risks. Fuck what they saying, I'm saying this. Don't waste your time, it don't make you rich, it don't mean nothing, so fuck them, let's make a grip. Double up, triple up, make assist. Ballin' so hard you can pay a bitch. Lead to the lake if they wanna fish. Make sure them niggas around you stick to the script. It should be written in stone. You should come visit my zone. Don't take my word, double check all of my phone. Have somehow also got on, but fuck what you heard. This for who walk down that road. Showed everything but they sold. Turn off the curb. Real niggas rich as you nerds. Address the who that make you start. I don't do this for nothing. Nah. Daisy, pull back. Nice, what's up, girl? Gary Colby, girl. Hey, I thought you was out of here, nigga. Leo. Hey, bunch of nigga. Oh,
Some help?
Smoke?
No. I'll
Okay. You know how to do this?
No.
Alright. So you see how they say 28 right here?
Yeah.
You're gonna put a handful of this, drop it in here. Let's say 28. Hold on a minute. Pour it in here. Roll that up. Roll it in. Do that to the back of the time. Hand me your phone.
Hello. Yeah, he's right here.
Hello? Yeah, right now. Alright, 5 minutes. Should be over there. Alright, so maybe more rough. Take this on 10th. Call me when you get in front of it.
Bye.
Not about you. Like, yeah. So, show you around, my man. Don't get me wrong, fellas. I love the house. Alright? Really do. But I have my money tied up in the desk right now. Right. I'm going to introduce my wife to you so she can show you all around. I don't mind, though. Stacy! Come down here, honey. Hey, this is Dave. So she Nipsey. What's up? How you doing? I can give him a tour around the house. Show him the house we have. Come on. I'm coming back. Right. Young guy. Man, I hope your man's like the spot. Put a lot of work into it. Not that. See? And see, man. Don't do it. Yeah. I like it. Smoke. You like this part? So once we lock it in, I'm gonna throw a little housewarming party and all that. So, y'all both come. So everything check. Big check, right? Hey, Mike is cool with it. I'm cool with it, man. Yeah, man, bro. Hey, thanks again, man. Appreciate it. Number one, 3 or 4 times I ain't telling no lies. I turn it up. Never let a hard time hold one. Couple up. I ain't telling no lies. I ain't telling no lies. I just top 5, 4, 3, 2. That's all. I cry to you that morning. My dreams come true. My life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew?
I tell it to a 14. 14 to a whole day. Lord knows it's the cold game. Switch it up where you low, man. Big body take both lanes. Backseat blowing propane. All black bar gold chain. Young rich nigga bossed up on the throne, man. My new shit sound like a soul train. 50 wheels on a soul train. Eric B by the rope chain. RC with the show bang. Tiny loaves and they go crazy. What you know about the dope game? Was you born in the 80s? Did your mama smoke cocaine? Have you ever seen the whole thing? Would you go to the streets cause you grew up on show chains? Fucked up when the dope bag. It remind me when these rappers drop guns and they close chains. At the park with the low fade. I was standing in front of Knicks with my sack for the whole day. Drive-bys, I was road rage. We park and hop out, learn levels to this whole thing. Old school play the OJ, trying to make a slow change. Mama still slaving for a low wage. Trying to double up. Yeah, 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time overwatch. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I ain't telling no lies, I just double up. 5, 4, 3, 2, that's how I got to you that morning. My dreams come true. My life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? I'll leave it behind if you let me. Ironic, I drown just to hold you down. I jump off the ledge if you with me. I'll bring you up, you just let me down. Let me down. More money you can't go. Let me down. It's hard to catch what you can't see. I grew up to be who I wanna be, so the more niggas talk, I'ma shine. Might have been way before it's time. Posted with my back against the wall. Life is a bitch, but she mine. The rag 6 too, she has mine. The west side too, yeah, it's mine. What you know about? Post on the wall at the dealership. Leaving the bed, legs trembling. Getting banged on for your penalties. What you know about? Your response be the reason you exist. Lucky I ain't get caught up in the twist. Young nigga blue pager on my hip, so that's a champagne spill and the car accelerate and the feet gon' cry. I'll be going to the bank at least 3, 4 times. Get handshakes from the branch managers. We keep doing fly shit when the cameras cut. Double what? Yeah. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Never let a hard time overwatch. Double up. I ain't telling no lies, I ain't telling no lies, I just 5, 4, 3, 2, that's how I got to you that morning. My dreams come true. My life in diamonds. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? I'll leave it behind if you let me. Ironic, I drown just to hold you down. I jump off the ledge if you with me. I'll bring you up, you just let me down. Let me down. Let me down. Yeah, so I'm glad you came through. You know what I'm saying? Before you leave, I want to make sure I use you too much.
Alright, I hear you.
Alright, let me call him real quick. I'm gonna hit you right back.
Alright, bet.
Hello? Oh, shit.
Come right after I'm done rolling this blunt. I'm on my way.
You know where the fuck you supposed to be going?
Wait, it's not. Oh, shit. I almost forgot where I was going, nigga.
Almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot where I was going. I've been driving, I've been smoking. Almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot what I was drinking. What the hell have I been thinking? Now I'm just riding through the city. Now I'm just riding through the city. And ain't nobody rolling with me. And ain't nobody rolling with me. It ain't no problem, I'm gon' get it. It ain't no problem, I'm gon' get it. Just trip. Ride around smoking by myself. Don't you know I do it so well? Dollar signs all on my head. Rolling solo, just trip. Hey, almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot where I was going. I've been driving, I've been smoking. Almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot what I was drinking. What the hell have I been thinking? For my section, roll my protection. Who gon' die next? Ain't trying to get elected. Riding by myself. Time for some reflection. I feel like a young boy. I figured that second before was blessed. I can't even lie. I ain't even flexing. Block for me, black man. Know they tryna stress me. I ain't tryna preach. I ain't tryna lecture. When you make your first meal of cash, you gon' feel the pressure. Just wanna feel the thrust. Wanna feel the texture. Wanna feel the drop top braids. Wanna feel the step. Wanna chase the game. Never chase the message. Never stop grinding. Cherish no recession. We ain't get accepted. We just reinvest. That's what I expected. We ain't even set you. 6 years to make it. Chopper for the Texas. FBI invested. But you can't rest. Almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot where I was going. I've been driving, I've been smoking. Almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot what I was drinking. What the hell have I been thinking? Now I'm just riding through the city. And ain't nobody rolling with me. And ain't nobody rolling with me. It ain't no problem, I'm gon' get it. It ain't no problem, I'm gon' get it. This is trip. Ride around smoking by myself. Don't you know I do it so well? Dollar signs all on my head. Rolling solo, just trip. Hey, almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot where I was going. I've been driving, I've been smoking. Almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot what I was drinking. What the hell have I been thinking? I'm swerving. I'm splurging. Trip. Yeah, always at the best. Nigga, this is classic. How we came from nothing. When it got established. Living like a savage. Trying to make some magic. Everybody's story. Trying to take a sandwich. I know it's elaborate. Nigga, just imagine. Felt the right to ask. We can make it happen. Weaving through the traffic. I can take it back then. Everything I said I meant. I was never capping. I was never scared to stand. Front line with Madison. Raised to shoot at black men. Never felt the satisfaction. When I seen the game collapse. They took the rules away. Started moving at a different frequency and it got me living lavish. On my partner steady path. Trying to wiggle through this madness. Trying to fight gravity at time. I swear I can feel it pull me backwards. But thousands on their cast. Trying to pick the right reaction. I appreciate the progress, but I'm so confident about the status. Almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot where I was going. I've been driving, I've been smoking. Almost forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot what I was drinking. What the hell have I been thinking? Now I'm just riding through the city. And ain't nobody rolling with me. It ain't no problem, I'm gon' get it. It ain't no problem, I'm gon' Almost got where I was going. I've been driving, I've been smoking. Almost got what I was doing. Almost got what I was drinking. What the hell have I been thinking?
Just watch.
Almost got what I was doing. Almost got where I was going. I've been driving, I've been smoking. Almost got what I was doing. Almost got what I was drinking. What the hell have I been thinking? Now I'm just riding through the city. Now I'm just riding through the city. And ain't nobody rolling with me. And ain't nobody rolling with me. It ain't no problem, I'm gon' get it. It ain't no problem, I'm gon' get it. This is true, 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 true. Ride around, smoking by myself. Don't you know I do it so well? Dollar signs all on my head. Rolling solo dolo. This is true, 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 true. Hey, almost got what I was doing.
All right, all right, all right. I'm back. Your boy is back. All right, let's see what we got here. Market ain't moved too much of nowhere. If you look here, this green box represents what would be the New York session on a regular day. And as we see, the market's ready for a new day. I mean, new session, sorry. The new session begins here in this green box. There you go. I'm gonna get this out the way. Anybody on here got any questions about anything? Anybody want to look at something, go over anything while we're just sitting here looking at the this particular TRX and Bitcoin? All right, price action. Price action is basically, well, of course, it is the movement of the candles and the reaction and how they pretty much react to certain levels in area. For example, if we look at, let's say this area right here, I'm just going to pick an area, a random area. If we look at this area right here, this pink area, we look at these two candles that form this lowest point. Starting with this pin candle, what does the formation of this candle show us is the price action. Price opened here, price closed here. So for the life of this candle, which is created by the body in black, right here. But throughout the life of this candle, price took action and drove up here and down to here during the life of this 4-hour candle. Now the price action on the next candle revisited an area lower than the open, but higher than the previous low. The high of this candle is higher than the previous high. So in essence, based on looking at this price action, we had a triangle wedge just within this 8 hours. Here's a low higher than the previous low. Here's a high higher than the previous high, which is characteristic for an uptrend. Price action is simply just the movement of candles and how it reacts to previous levels. For example, again, on this particular chart that I've marked up, let me get these lines out of the way. Okay, now that these are not in the way, if you look at that same level, where price action formed this low, price action in other candles reacted similar to that same level until here, price action fell through that level. Andre, yeah, you're good, Andre. And that's definitely a buy on TRX. TRX is one of the light coins, not light as in LITE, but light as in LIGHT, as in light as in low volume, low leverage. So you don't see a lot of profit with TRX because it's still, as it's listed right here, TRX is only worth 2 cents right now. So by buying in where we're at, if TRX does become, say, a $50 coin, buying in at 2 cents will put us at over 10,000% profit gain. So that's one of the advantages of getting in early on a crypto rather than, say, for instance, with a stock or something, stock's already at $50 and it might rise to $70. You might see a 2% gain. But with something at 2 cents rising to $70, that's over thousands of percent. And that's how people are becoming millionaires by investing in crypto. For example, $100 purchase of TRX at 2 cents each would put you at almost over 1,000 plus, almost 10,000 coins. Now, if those 10,000 coins go from 2 cents to $100 each, you've now profited that 10,000 coins times 1,000 each. Make sense? That you only bought at 2 cents each. They're now worth $10,000 each, or $1,000 each, or $50 each. Or even if we saw this go from 2 cents to $5, if you bought 1,000 of them, that's a very, very high profitability rate. Because 1,000 bought at 2 cents is only $20. I mean, $200. But if you just wanted, even if you just got 100, you just got to think about it. If you bought 100 at $20 and those 100 went to $5 each, you've now profited $480 off a $20 investment. So just think about the people that are out there buying $10,000 worth. They're buying 100,000 coins. Now, if those coins hit $5, they've now profited $500,000. So whenever that's where it comes down to how much can you afford to invest. Because if you only got $20, buy $20 worth. You got $10, buy $10 worth. The minimum to buy is $5 worth. It's still going to turn you a couple $100 profit. But not to say TRX doesn't go to $1 million a coin. If you for a $20 investment, you got 100 coins. Do 100 times $1 million, and there's your profit. Sky's the limit on these coins. So whether it jumped to $5 or $100 each, you're going to make some money. How much determines how much you're able to invest, but you will make money investing in cryptocurrency. Any cryptocurrency, to be honest. But if you find a cryptocurrency that you're interested in under $1, buy as much as you can. Shit. All right, so it's going on 8 a.m. I know the next 4-hour candle closes at 9 Eastern. It's going on 8 a.m. Eastern. So I'm expecting this next hour to really give us some volatility. Also, this green box indicates what would be the New York session if we were on a Monday through Friday. To me, the days don't change, man-made Saturday and Sunday. So to me, with crypto still in the marketplace, Saturday is no different than Friday. So with that being said, at 9 o'clock, I still expect the New York volume to take over the market, just like it would on a Monday or Tuesday. And that's simply to say just because on the weekend the markets close and the banks are closed, but people aren't. Yeah, Andre, to be honest, I feel good about predominantly all of the crypto coins future. But yes, TRX specifically for sure. Yeah, actually, me and Nipsey Hussle actually specifically talked about TRX. Here we go again, Robert, from where I drew earlier, that same zone on the 1 minute. You know what shocks me? I still get messages like, "Hey, I see the swag, put me on." Man, the swag, that's just how I live. There's a lot more to it than swag. Jeez, I hate messages like that. Hell, I've been had swag. Hell, I was born with swag. Fuck you, man. This shit here real life, my boy. This here real life, my boy. Um, Griggs, what was it that you asked? I just saw your message there. I didn't see what you had asked. I'll repeat it though, whatever it was. What were you correction to? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Coinbase. Coinbase for sure. I've been using Coinbase about the past 6 years now. I got with them real early. Whenever I got with Coinbase, they didn't offer anything but Bitcoin. But now, of course, they've added multiple coins and other things to their platform. Remember how we see price above this moving average. Remember, we're looking for buys at the open of new candles. Same with the hour. Same with the 4 hour and the daily. So we are actually in a very, very prime area for another entry. As you see, this is coming up on 8:14, the 15-minute chart, 15-minute time frame. I'm gonna leave it right here on this 30-minute. But I am going to take another entry at this 15-minute mark right here at 8:15. And there we have it. Notice if we look at the 4 hour chart, my stops are below the volume on these 4 hour candles right in here, below the open of the day, below yesterday's close. I don't enter on anything lower than the 15-minute chart. No matter what time frame I do my analysis on, the 15-minute chart tells me to enter. Okay? If I don't see a confirmation or an entry set up on the 15-minute chart, the analysis and the predicament or the prediction that I have analyzed is not valid yet. Okay? No matter what chart you do your analysis on, it is not time to enter until the 15-minute chart tells you so. Okay? That is about the most, that's almost just as important as risk management and everything else. Don't you enter until that 15-minute chart tells you to. Right. So when it comes to the stop losses, if you're following everything to the T as far as your entries on the 15-minute chart, entering at the beginning and end of the sessions when the setup occurs, all you have to do is get behind the most recent lows and closes of the 4-hour chart. If you're going bearish, it'll be the lows below the 4-hour chart. If you're going bullish, if you're going bearish, it'll be above the highs, previous highs. If you're going bullish, it'll be below. And you can see it on structure, especially if you're taking your entry on the 15-minute chart. You can see structure to the left, like right here, right below all this structure is pretty much where my stop loss is. So yeah, if you time your entry right, just drop it. Just look at the 4-hour chart, drop it below. You can even look at the hour chart or the 30-minute chart, but you want to get it below the structure. There's the structure right over here. Structure, structure, structure. Price always revisit structure. That way, with our stop loss being right here at structure, if price dropped and hit it, we know it's going further because our stop loss is at structure. Structure holds price. So if structure is broken, that means price is going to overflow in that direction. So if structure is here, we know we're done down here unless we're going further. So we know one of two things. If we break this structure, we're going further. If we respect this structure, our bias is correct and we're going up. You'll see prices lingering right there at that supportive area. I'll draw it in for you. You can see it here, the supportive area, pretty much from here to here. And that's based on price action and structure to the left. Nas 100. I actually don't trade. I really don't trade the heavy stuff. Like I rarely trade gold. I really don't fool with the indices. I don't even look at that stuff a lot of the times. I really don't have a bias on Nasdaq because for one, the broker, the firm that I trade for and trade with, they only allow the currencies. So I really just focus on the majors and some of gold sometimes. And then when I'm on Hugo's Way, I'll trade some of the cryptos. But as far as my go-to, it's pretty much strictly the majors. I don't fool with those for the simple fact that they're a little heavy, and they're heavy. They weigh a lot on your account. And some of my account settings are set at a standard lot sizes. So if I trade it, then on the copy accounts, it will also trade those dollar lots on those indices, and I don't want that to happen. So I try to avoid the indices and everything because you really don't need them. They all move based on price action and the same pretty much analysis strategy, but I just avoid them just due to the fact that they're heavy on volume, heavy on your equity, heavy on your margin, things like that. But you don't need them to really make profit. I mean, of course, they make profit fast, but the indexes and stuff are a tad bit stressful. I really don't. I just realized I was on mute, so you guys didn't hear me. But I really have no bias on Nas 100. I really stick to the majors. The broker and the firm that I trade for only allows the majors in gold. So a lot of the times you'll only see me trading majors, some of gold, and whenever I go over to the Hugo's Way, I'll trade the crypto. But for the most part, I don't trade the indices because of the fact that they're so heavy and they weigh so much on your account and margin. And you don't really need them. I try to avoid them. Of course, they big profits, but they're a little stressful at the same time. And again, you really don't need them to see profit, steady profit. A lot of times, whenever I do pull with the indices, it'll be a lot of times I'll be giving profit back due to the fact that I don't take a lot of pips in drawdown, so I'll get out of that trade. And with the fact that I use dollar standard lots most of the time, that would be extremely heavy if I was to trade the indices. So I don't really bother with the indices. All right, we got the green box opening up. All right, y'all see the box. Green box has now begun, so we know session volumes now coming into play. Based on all the analysis that we went over earlier, now we should begin to see our move. Oh yeah, Griggs. I mean, all the cryptos are pretty much going to move simultaneously with Bitcoin. As Bitcoin goes up, it drives the dollar down, giving other cryptos room to grow. Oh yeah, way swagged out back there in the rock, swagged out for sure. Trying to get the hell on. Oh man, so I know about Stone Chris, man. I was out there when it was straight dirt. The damn Stone Chris wasn't nothing but dirt while I was out there. Salem Road was the hood, or fuck, what was that exit right there? Fuck, hold on, don't come to me. Uh, shit. Damn, I can't think of that name. I really grew up right there in Sugar Hill off 138. That's where I was at when I was in Rockville, Sugar Hill, Sugar Hill gang. All right, real quick, look at this 5 minute chart. Notice how we have popped up over the 21 moving average. We're also getting across down here. So that would indicate to me now within the next 30 minutes or so, likely this next 4 hour candle closes at 9. So probably within this 15 minutes here, we'll start to see where we could buy at the open of these next 5 minute candles as we begin to push up throughout this green New York session. Look at this Bitcoin. Bitcoin shot a spike up there. But also, again, Bitcoin is also trending above its 21 moving average. Got about 15 minutes before we get a new 4 hour candle. So in the meantime, let's roll up some gas. Smoke up some sour peppers this morning. Okay, we start the live cannabis reviews in 3 weeks. slightly adjust my stop loss to right there. Okay, the exact parameters of my stop loss is 02130. All right, everybody hear that? The exact parameters of my stop loss. Zero two one three zero. I want to show you guys an order block that was just triggered here on the 30-minute chart. This one right here, this pink zone, the specific order block that was just triggered is here. And this 4-hour candle closes in 8 minutes. If you guys wanted to, you can literally just practice looking for setups at each 4-hour candle. Based on all the strategies you've learned from me, If you use them and apply them to only the new 4-hour candle opens, still checking the 15-minute for your entry, you'll start to see a lot of improvement. So set your alarm for 4-hour candles. You know there's 6 every day. They're the same times every day. If you're not sure, just kind of keep an eye on your charts and look for when a new 4-hour candle closes or a new 4-hour candle opens, and you'll be able to see exactly what's going on. Like for example, I use this right here. It's called Candle Countdown. Make it black. And here it shows me I have 5 minutes and 52 seconds before this 30-minute candle closes. Same with this 4-hour candle. This 30-minute, all these candles below from 4 hour to 5 minutes are going to have the same time on it because they all close at 9 o'clock. The 4-hour candle closes at 9 o'clock. The 1-hour candle closes at 9 o'clock. The 30-minute candle closes at 9 o'clock. 15-minute candle closes at 9 o'clock. 5-minute candle closes in 30 seconds, and then a new one will open and close at 9 o'clock. Of course, the 1-minute chart, a new one opens every minute. But for right now, this daily candle has 8 hours left. What does that tell me? That's 2 4-hour candles, correct? 8 hours left in the day, 2 4-hour candles left in the day. One which is closing now. One closes now, and then there's 2 more to equal your 8 to close the day. 8 minutes and 4 seconds, 4 minutes and 52 seconds. So the next 8 hours we should see bullish. We know 8 hours left in the day. That's 2 4-hour candles. That's 8 1-hour candles. All that makes sense. Y'all see how this green box is forming? Yes, for Eastern time frame, that's correct, Greg. And we got a new one coming in 3 minutes. And you know, on daylight saving time, it's going to go back an hour. So it'll be 8, 12, and 4. Whenever that happens. So for me, new 4-hour candles are at 6, 10, and 2. Because I'm Pacific. Hey, what's going on, Darius? Shoot me a message when you get a chance. I just saw you thumbs up, Darius. Shoot me a message when you get a chance. Andre, I'm gonna hold these for a while. Now, of course, whenever you're comfortable, always grab it out. But based on what I see here, look at all this room to the upside. The next structure is here. So look at all this room to the upside. Not to mention, if we break that structure, we have even more room up here. There's nothing over here. So like I said, as far as cryptos go, just buy and hold. You can buy and hold on Coinbase a little easier than you can buy and hold here on Forex, because of course you got to make sure you get a proper entry. Okay, bet I'll be here. Let me know what days in September, because I'm actually going to be starting to travel out of the country this year, so I actually have a trip to Dominican Republic in September. So just let me know the dates, and we'll link up for sure. But your boy's gonna start going, getting that passport stamp. All right. Anybody got any questions about anything? 17th through the 22nd. Okay, bet. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I am gonna hold this XRP crypto long. Bitcoin's good long too. Or really, a lot of the cryptos are good long as long as you got in a good entry down low. Again, next week we'll be really focusing on some naked price action. We'll be trading on charts that look like this. Not this one, that. All right, so it'll be completely naked for the most part. Shit, wrong one. Hold on. We'll be trading on a chart that looks like this next week, and really focus on price action. Like just based on looking at this in price action, this should go straight up. This next hour, these next hours on TRX should be headed straight up to the moon. So just keep an eye on that. But yeah, next week we'll really focus and dabble in on some price action. Based on what I'm looking at here, this is pretty much just a supportive zone, which is midway through this right here. So if I pull out my fibs and I just do it from here to here, that's what I'm looking at. Just at a glance, real quick, that was real simple enough to do. Notice how TP2 was achieved, TP3 was achieved, and you simply pop it from here to here, and now we've got our move to the upside. All right, stop loss in place. Manage your risk. Make sure it's not too far back. You don't want any big losses. This TRX is a real light coin, so really any loss shouldn't really be too heavy on you, as long as you manage your risk and use the appropriate lot size to take that trade. And we'll link up again this week. Y'all have a good weekend. Be safe.